Hello and welcome to another bite-sized Pilates workout. Today's focus is about our single leg stability and strength in standing positions. So it's a perfect class for all you runners and even cyclists, hikers, walkers, trampers, to really gain and improve your stability, posture, efficiency, and prevent injuries all through the legs, all the way from the hips down to the ankles. So we're going to take a nice little warm-up by stepping our feet slightly wider than hip distance apart, toes slightly turned out. And we're going to have our hands resting on our waist to soften our shoulders away from our ears. We're going to fold our body over, allowing those hands to soften down to the inside of the mat. Grow as long and tall as you can through your legs, feeling a nice stretch and length down through the back of the legs. From here, you're going to lift your hands up, sink your knees down and low into a wide squat, feeling it in through those inner hips and the backs of the hips. Lower the upper body down, lift through the legs. Take a breath in, really feel that length and stretch. And then exhale, sink back into your squat, knees wide. Really allow those hips to lower down and back. We're going to take 2 more of these, allowing ourselves to really warm up the body and the legs to help us hold good posture and movements as we move into some standing stability and strength very shortly. Good. Final one, lifting the legs, folding the upper body over. And then lifting and sinking into our squat, chest up, tailbone sending it down. Reach the arms all the way up, squeeze the hips up, reach the hands down. They're going to come directly onto our hip. We're going to step our feet in under us. And we're going to start off with some skater movements. So become soft and bend into your standing leg and skate the other leg out to the side. Skate it back under you, grow tall. Leg out to the side, we bend through our standing leg, sinking through the hip and the knee, and then we squeeze our hips forward as we come upright, skating the leg back and under. We're keeping our chest nice and open and upright here. We're using our hands to help guide us to keep our pelvis nice and level, trying to prevent the tendency maybe for the pelvis to dip down on one side. Good, our last one. We're going to hold the toes out there. Reach the arms up. We're going to reach those arms nice and long and take a little side sweep away. Sweep the arms opposite and over. So we're taking a sweep through the arms, or you might know this as mermaid arms, as we alternate a nice little side reach through the body, holding that nice skater stance, really feeling it, I'm sure, through your legs, especially around the quads, the glutes, and the hip area. Good, and let's hold it for one more, sweeping in one direction, into center and over to the opposite. Hands back to shoulder height, grow nice and tall. Bring the hands behind the head, squeeze your hips forward, draw the elbows back. I'm just going to take a turn side on as we bring the hands back to the waist, preparing for our next movement. We're going to take a little bend through both knees. Support your spine by tucking your tailbone, engaging your core. We're going to slide that same leg that we moved back behind, back and front. This is working our skater to the back now. Leg behind, leg in front. We're not changing the position of this standing leg yet. And we're skating back, moving the same leg. Now, the next one back, we're going to hold the leg there, release the arms out in front, palms in. We're going to lift and lower that back leg, pointing the toes, squeezing through the bottom muscle on that side. Good, and we're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the toes, hands back to the waist, rock your shoulders back. We're going to bend the knees all the way down into a lunge, grow nice and tall. This time our shoulders are stacked over our hips. We're sinking down, sending our body up as we straighten both knees. I want you to move nice and slowly with this lunge movement. So you can really think about your balance stability and centering your shoulders over your hips, keeping good control through the body. If you want, you can reach those arms out in front. And we're going to reach them overhead as we come down, back to shoulder height on the way up. Now we're going to move into a running man exercise movement and stance. So take the hand that's opposite to the front knee and bring that behind. Take the other hand and keep it in front in our running position. We're going to sink down into our lunge, and then we're going to bring the back knee forward as we drive up, taking an arm switch. Good. Exhale, step back, sink into your lunge, drive up and forward. That knee drives all the way up, opposite elbow and arm in front. Good. So we're thinking of a slow, controlled lower and a strong, sharp drive up and out. Think about your power along with your control, your stability, and your posture. We're going to go for 2 more. Last one. We're stepping back, bringing the hands onto the waist, lowering into our lunge, and we've got 10 heel raises on that front leg, lifting the heel, pressing equally into the big toe and the baby toe. So we're equal distribution across the toes as we strengthen into that calf. If you need to, you can lower your back knee fully to the mat, and that will make these round of calf exercises easier. Final 2. And then we're lowering that back knee, resting the toes. Well done. We're going to step this foot forward, and we're just going to sink forward. Exhale out. Bring your hand down inside the knee. Lower either the knuckles or the palm and exhale the arm up. Reach the arm down. Tuck the toes. Step forward into our forward fold. We're actually just going to bring our hands to our elbows and just gently rock the body side to side here. A really relaxed fold, giving the body the chance to recover. Get that breath back. In a moment, we're going to move in and strengthen through the opposite side in the same series. Nice. Pause, head and shoulders in the center, release the arms. Slowly tuck your tailbone. Slowly roll yourself up, hips forward, shoulders roll back. Well done. If you need to take a turn back to the front, we're going to start with our hands on our waist, nice level pelvis, feet in under us. We're pressing down into the opposite leg now. That was the moving leg. Now it becomes the standing leg. We're going to skate the leg out to the side as we soften into the knee and hip. Skate it back to center, growing tall. So as you can tell from the previous bit of work, we work strongly through the glutes, then bring in a little bit more work through the quads and finish with some calf work. So we're really nicely strengthening all the key muscles in the leg that we need for our running position in particular. Take that really nice squeeze up and forward with the hips as you come out of your position. Okay, for the last one, we're going to rest out there, lower the heels down, keep your mini squat over that standing leg. We're going to sweep the arms up, and then we're going to take one arm down, one arm across, side bend, back to center, side bend the other direction. A nice flowing movement through the upper body and mid back and chest. And as you flow nicely through that upper body, can you think about keeping really strong and still and stable through the legs? And last one. Coming back up, hands to the waist, squeeze yourself up nice and tall. Hands behind, squeeze the hips forward. Elbows back, hips forward. Preparing for our next movement, we'll bring the hands back to the waist. We'll take a little fold, hips back, soft through the knees. Keep moving the same leg, keep the standing leg the same, keeping your pelvis level, skate the leg back behind and forward. Can you get your knee nicely extended, toes pointed? So that when your foot's behind you, there's a nice line down along your leg, through your spine, all the way to the back of your head. Good. Next one. Leg stays behind, hands come up, and we lift and lower through the leg, pulsing through that glute on that side. Staying strong and stable through the standing leg. And we'll go for 4, 3, 2, 1, lower the toes, rock your body back slightly, hands onto your waist. We're going to sink our body down into our lunge, grow nice and tall. Now, if you need to take a longer stance between your feet, if you feel a little short, or step your feet a little wider if you feel too narrow. We'll keep our hands on the waist for the next few. Thinking about that slow, controlled lower into the lunge and a nice, strong drive out of it. If you want, you can bring in the hands so that we lower down nice and even, a little slower, and then drive up, sweep those arms back to shoulder height. Okay, we're going to pause here. We'll take our arm switch. One elbow back, other elbow in front. We'll lower into our lunge, and then we're going to drive up and out. The back knee comes up and forward into a knee drive. Stepping it back, arm switch, sink into lunge. Driving up into a running stance. Tall posture, nice elbow drive and knee drive. We're really pushing the hips forward and up, growing nice and tall and long through the hips as we drive that knee up high. We're going to take 2 more. And then we're stepping back into our lunge. We're bringing the hands back to the waist. We're lowering down, holding our lunge, coming into our heel lifts and lowers. Taking the slightly, the more supported option with the back knee down if you choose to do that. Good, we'll be feeling a strong burn into these leg muscles, so you're just going to use your breath to work through it for the last 4 heel lifts. Good, lower that knee down, well done. Exhale out, slide that foot in front. Rock your body forward slightly. Bring the opposite hand down. Exhale, sink low. And reach the other arm up towards the ceiling, a nice open twist. Lower the hand down. Great work, some strong, powerful work there. We're going to finish it off with a bit of balance by taking a deep hip stretch. So let's press our hands forward and lengthen back into down dog. Exhale, drop the heels. Then bring one leg forward, knee up and across into a pigeon stretch. Relax the other leg behind. Walk your hands in under your shoulders. Take a moment to level your hips off, sinking your hips down towards the mat, lifting the chest up. And then we're going to walk those hands around and past that front knee or that forward knee, just taking them to whatever level of twist that you feel comfortable. We want to still keep that sinking pigeon pose through the hips. Press into your elbows, lift your chest. Exhale, look over your shoulder, looking back towards the back toes. Uncurl, walk the hands back to the front. Then we're going to take a nice sink forward onto the elbows. Pause here for a moment. And if you want to, you can then take a sink forward onto your forehead. We're going to take a few breaths here. So really relax the body. Get the most out of the work you've just been doing by sinking and relaxing your body into a deep stretch to really help bring balance to both the strength and flexibility of the body. Slowly pressing back up onto hands, walking hands under. We'll take a tuck through the toes and a reach back into down dog. Exhale, drop the heels. And then we're going to lift up and under on the other knee, sinking that leg back. Hands under the shoulders to support us. Drop and roll the hips forward, hips nice and level. Start to slowly walk and gently walk those hands around. Pressing into the hands, lift through the chest, look over the shoulder towards the toes behind. And then slowly uncurl yourself so we're back facing the front. Sink through the hips again. Slide or lower down onto the elbows. Take a moment. And then you might choose to stay here. You might choose to soften a little deeper. And like the opposite side, we're really just letting our breath relax our body. Sink us deeper into the mat. Getting a really nice opening and length into those glute muscles and the hip joint. And then you can slowly lift your way back up. And then we'll finish with one more down dog. Tuck your back toes, lift, press the heels all the way down, sinking the heels down. One breath here. And then you can lower into whatever resting position is good. It might be hips to heels, might be lying on your front, it might be coming up into a forward fold. So thank you for joining me for this really strong, mostly runners-based leg and strength stability work. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in more videos and content, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. You can also head to my website, send me an inquiry if you want more information, or if you are thinking about trying out either my online classes or my clinic classes in Christchurch. So do get in touch if you have any questions, comments, or want to find out more about Pilates.